Hey y'all, what's up? I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna be talking about this new Netflix series called She's Gotta Have It. Basically, if I was this young black woman, she's a painter, she's an artist, a creator, or whatever, and she's dating 3 men at the same time. Not full-on relationship and boyfriend and girlfriend type of thing, but she has 3 lovers. Actually, a 4th lover as well, and we'll get more into that. But yeah, it just shows her navigating the life between being a painter and doing her career duties and paying her rent and all this other stuff, and also dealing with these 3 men that she's involved with. Now, if you have not watched She's Gotta Have It, I don't think you should watch this video, especially if you're like interested in seeing it and like wanting to watch it for yourself and things like that. I don't think you should watch this video because it's gonna be some spoilers. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of spoilers. Not some, it's gonna be a lot. Like, it's gonna be full of spoilers. So I definitely don't think you should watch this video until you watch the show. But if you have already watched it, I'm just gonna give you like my opinion on things, how I felt about the show, and yeah, that's it. Just my perspective. First things first, I love the show. Like, the cast was great. They picked a beautiful, beautiful woman to play NOLA Darling. Like, she's so cute. The men, we're going to get into the men. They all have their things about them that I liked and disliked about each of them. Physically, though, they all were okay-looking men. Like, they picked a really good group of people to play each character. Now, I don't think that the scenario between NOLA, Greer, James, and Mars will ever work in the real world. So basically, like I said, she's dating all 3 of these men. Everything seems to be going good because she has an open communication with each of them. She lets each of them know, like, hey, don't catch feelings because I got somebody else. Like, not somebody else, but I'm dating another guy, I don't think she ever... Yeah, if I remember correctly, she did not ever say that it was, 2 other guys. She just said, I'm dating, I have another man. So, don't get too close. However, when you're sleeping with somebody on a consistent basis, that's not going to happen. Like, you're automatically going to catch feelings for somebody. Like, it's just, it is what it is. Like, everybody's human. So, of course, all these men start catching feelings for her, as well as you can kind of see that she catches feelings for them as well in waves. So, like, one week she's like really into James. James is the older man. He's actually married, separated but not separated. Like, him and his wife are going through things. Like, they're going through a hard time in their relationship. He sleeps in the basement. The wife is still bitter about the situation, but they still live in the same household to raise their son. But he's very interested in NOLA. And he's a 40-year-old man. NOLA, I believe, is 27 in the show. Then she's dating Greer. Greer is he's metrosexual as hell. He borderlines, too feminine for me personally. But she's dating Greer. He's a very nice looking guy, a lighter skinned man. I believe he's biracial. He has a French mother and a black father. And she's dating him. Then there's Mars Blackman. Mars Blackman is a Puerto Rican and black guy who is just out there. Like, he's like the life of the party, Brooklyn's finest, because he's like the gatekeeper for Brooklyn when it comes to knowing about Brooklyn and rap music. He's just like a fun guy. Like, each man gives her a different vibe and a different thing. So yeah, in each, from episode to episode, you can see like her feelings grow for each one of them, but it's at different points. So like, one episode she's like really feeling James, and then one episode she's really feeling Greer, and then another episode she's really feeling Mars. I feel like the one who remains consistent is kind of Greer for me. Like, the metrosexual one, I feel like Greer is a hit or miss. Like, she likes Greer a lot, but like, she just cannot get jiggy with the kind of man that he is, the kind of narcissist type of dude he is. That it's just not working for her. But that's besides the point. Me personally, Greer would never get a chance. He looks really, really good. Like, Greer is a very handsome man. But honey, when I saw that freaking painted thumbnail with that silver metallic paint, I just couldn't. He lost me. Then in the last episode where he wore that damn sheer top, baby with the back out, I didn't be like, baby, you gotta go. I can't. Like, you a bad bitch, and we both can't be two bad bitches in here. So yeah. James, I be honest with you. I definitely be honest with you. James would be more of my speed. Like, James would be, even though he's already taken and he's married, he got coins to rub together. Like, he can help me out with my bills. Look like he be putting it down on her. He gives her stimulated conversation, as well as being able to talk, that street talk, that slang that you want to have. I don't always want to be proper with somebody. I also want to come home and be like, yo, my nigga was good. Like, I don't want to always have an educated conversation with you. I also want to, take it back and talk about real life things without bringing into our education involved, So I think James would be more my speed. Mars is cool, don't get me wrong. The Mars Blackman is like cool as ice, twice as nice. But he would get a little aggravating. Like, dude, grow the fuck up. Like, we have to talk more about than just rap and graffiti. Like, we have to do just a little bit more. Now, like I said, for NOLA, they all each do something for her. They all give her something. And for her and for their situation, it seems to be working. Even up until the last episode when she invites all three men to a Thanksgiving freaking dinner. Let me tell you something. Y'all ladies will see that shit and think that shit is cool and think that shit will work for you. I'm sorry I keep saying shit, but that shit ain't gonna work. I can tell you right now that I do not know any black men who would be A-okay breaking bread with not one man, but two other men that you are having relationships. And all these men have feeling for NOLA. Like, it's not like it's a secret. It's not like, they all playing the game. Like, yeah, well, I ain't even feeling her like that. Like, it's whatever. It's good. No. Each one of them express throughout this show that they have more than a sexual relationship with NOLA. That they have more than sexual feelings for NOLA. So, ain't no way in hell a man is about to come to your house, walk in, and see another man standing there, and like, oh, okay. And then the doorbell rings again, and another man walks in, and we all about to stand here. Honey, you will have to call the police because you are about to get punched in your damn eye. One of them is going to smack the hell out of you while the other two start fighting. And I'm going to tell you that's a fact, bro. That is a fact. It's just not going to happen in the African American community. As much as you wanted to, like, no. Do I think NOLA's a hoe? No. She made it very clear with everybody that she has multiple sexual partners she is dating. That's great. That's fine. And that's dandy. But y'all crossed the damn line by bringing in all three men and having a group Thanksgiving dinner. It's just never going to work. Why would you give these women these false hope like that? And young girls like me, African American young woman, 20-something-year-old, might see this and be like, I could do that. Hell, I do that. But I would never bring all my niggas in the room together. Like, it's just never going to happen. I would never do it. Like, I wouldn't think that would be a good idea. And if it wouldn't work. Like, please do not let this show fool you. It is a show. It is a very good show. It's a very entertaining show. Do not let that mess fool you for you to ever think that it would be okay for you to invite all your niggas to a dinner at your house and think that your house is going to stay in the same manner that it's. Your house will be top up from the floor up. You're going to have a black eye and you will be calling the cops. You better have 911 on speed dial. You better jump out saying this is a prank. You better have security on hand because it's just not going to work. Their relationship, their situation that they have going on, yes, that could work in my opinion. If you keep it open and honest with everybody and be like, hey, please don't catch feelings because I'm dating right now. Like, and if you catch feelings, that's on you. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That could work where you, openly communicate with each man like, hey, I'm dealing with you, but I'm also dealing with other people. That's a thing. I feel like people do that. Guys do that all the time. And I feel like women do that as well. Like, I, for one, can't say that I've done something in that realm. Have I been sleeping with all of them at the same time? No. But I do let it be known, like, hey, this is not a one-on-one thing. Like, I have other guys. And men have told me, like, hey, I don't know what you're looking for, but this ain't that. So, if you with it, then we cool. If not all men, but I have had one or two. Okay, one who has been overwhelmed. And I made that decision to not be a part of it. I was like, you know what? That's not what I'm really looking for. Like, I do think like that type of thing would be okay. Like, that type of thing would be for up for discussion. Like, that'd be something that could work in the real world. But inviting all your dudes to come through ain't never gonna work. Also, throughout the series, Nola is seeing a therapist, and in one of the episodes, the therapist lets her know, you know, are you genuinely giving your career and your life, your, not your personal life, but your professional life, as much attention as you should, being that you are seeing 3 men? And also, what I forgot to mention about was she's also seeing a woman as well. It seems like she's really in love with the woman, but the woman doesn't have the same feelings back for her, because in her mind, Nola is still playing this game. Like, she knows about the men that Nola is sleeping with. She just feels that Nola is not on the same mind frame as this woman is. This woman is an older lesbian. She already has a child. She done sold her royal oaks already. Her oaks, whatever it's called. She done already did her thing. She's ready to settle down. She's a full-blown lesbian. It seems like she's not dibbling dabbling. She knows what she wants. And for her, to her, Nola is all over the place, and she doesn't know what she wants. Nola, you know, confesses to her, like, hey, I want to be with you. Like, you know, I'm ready to commit to you. And the lady's like, no. Like, yeah, you want to do this right now, and then next week you're going to change your mind, and I have a daughter to take care of, and we're not about to play, you know, in and out with my daughter in the house. So, yeah. Like I was saying, the therapist tells her, you know, how could you possibly be given the correct amount of time or appropriate amount of time to your career if you're dealing with 3 men plus a woman? I completely agree. You cannot live that type of lifestyle and still be thriving professionally, and still, like, okay, for Nola, the way that she describes her relationship with them is that they are just her lovers. She just sleeps with them, but that is not the case, like, at all. Like, each of them have a connection with her, and she has a connection with them. She's literally in boyfriend and girlfriend relationships with each one of them, but she just won't admit it to herself, and she won't see that it's taking, like, you know, a lot of, she does realize it through talking to the therapist. But like, that's what I immediately thought when I saw this. I'm like, how, this is why your career isn't where you want it to be. Like, eventually she does get to where she wants to be, or not where she wants to be, but she's moving towards the right direction when she gets her little grant thing or whatever. But still, like, when she had the little showcase that her friend did for her, which we will also talk about with her friend, when she had the little showcase and all the dudes ended up showing up, not that she invited them or anything, but they all ended up showing up. Instead of telling I forgot what the hell he was, the critic, you know, more about her pieces and explaining them, she over there, you know, eyeing her men, trying to see what they doing, instead of getting the time and taking the time to speak to the critic and letting him know, like, hey, this is what my paintings are about, this is what my artwork is about, this is what I'm about. No, you sitting over here working about James, Greer, and Mars, and trying to make sure that them 3 don't really start having conversation, because then your spot is about to be blown the freak up. Another thing about Nola. Okay, so I have seen this work in the real world and with friendships. However, it wouldn't work for me. Apparently, Mars used to date Nola's friend, and Nola and the girl are still friends. The girl is clearly still bitter about it, but, you know, they're still friends for the most part. That shit ain't gonna work over here. I don't know what the fuck y'all thought this was. You sleep with my man, or you take my man. It's over between us. Like, we gotta fight and then it's done. Like, I will go and make a story time about the time where I found out my best friend from high school was sleeping with my ex. And me and my ex were still cool. Like, we were working on getting back together when I found out. Oh, I owe her rounds, bro. Like, every time I see her, it's on site. I don't care if I see her at the altar, it's on site, because that's just crossing the line. Like her friend said, like, girl code. Like, no matter what I say, and personally in my situation, I never said anything about it, like, because I didn't know. She never came to me and asked me if she could mess with my man. But apparently in the show, the girl's friend, Nola's friend, came to her. I mean, Nola came to the friend and asked her, you know, is it cool? I guess she said, yeah, it's whatever. And Nola took that and ran with it, because now she's screwing Mars. Like, the thing is wild. Oh, one more thing I forgot to say. When Nola and when Nola and the boyfriends, the bros, the boos, the bays, they had the Thanksgiving dinner, and she pulled out that pictures with all they dicks, and you really thought, like, even if the situation was going good, the whole dick pic thing with Mars with the little dick, James with the girth and the nice size dick, and Greer with the, like, I can't even do it because I don't got nothing to do, but it's like a bang, like when it hit the table, you hear, like, dun dun. Yeah, Greer had one of those. Bruh, it would have been over for like dudes I know, like niggas I know. It would have been over. Like, first of all, you got me sitting up here with your other niggas. Now you gonna tell me that his dick bigger. Then for Mars, you gonna tell me that I got the littlest dick, and you gonna paint that shit and show everybody. You got me fucked up. Like, that was never, ever, ever gonna work. I'm sorry, I just had to go back to that because that was the scene that really stuck out in my head. Another thing that they mentioned, besides, you know, Trump, gentrification, things like that was really, really good and really like prominent in the African American community and our freaking, you know, homes and crap like that. Like, not crap, I'm sorry, but things like that. Like, shout out to Spike Lee and the creators and writers. I'm pretty sure there's other creators and writers, I just don't know who they are. Shout out to them for doing that. Like, that's great. But another thing they brought up was body image. NOLA has a friend who isn't happy with her body. She goes to get booty shots, and the illegal ones at that. She doesn't, you know, go to Dr. Miami or anything. She goes to a motel and get injected with some kind of whatever it is. She doesn't even know. Basically, she goes overboard with it, and, you know, the club that she works at, she decides that she wants to dance now. Mid-dance, she falls. It splatters everywhere. That is a real thing. Like, not the whole falling down and your booty splatter type of thing, but the real thing of, you know, not being appreciative of your body or not feeling that you're beautiful. Because it's from my channel. Like, I got so tongue-tied right now. But from my channel, you can see, like, you know, I'm one of those people who aren't comfortable with their body, who don't think that their body is necessarily beautiful or, you know, desirable. And I've talked plenty of times about getting a BBL and getting my booty done and taking the fat out of my stomach and putting it in my booty. But I would never do what the girl did on the show. But it's definitely a real thing where you would go to drastic measures just to change yourself, just to be more desirable, just to make more money. Like, it's a real thing. So that was a great thing for them to see. And then to show, like, the backlash of it. Like, when you do things, not that it was a bad thing for her to get her butt done. Like, if that's what you wanted to do, that's what you wanted to do. But when you try to find, like, the easy way out and try to, like, you know, go around it and do illegal things, this is what can happen to you. Like, they said that she got an infection over it and, you know, she barely made it out. Like, that's a real thing. So when you do those type of things to yourself, you have to take into account everything that can go wrong. Like, everything can happen. Like, not only did you embarrass yourself, but, you know, you were sick and in the hospital. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Also talk about, you know, NOLA being in her 20-somethings and struggling. That's where I am now. Like, oh my God, life after college is difficult. And I think NOLA's 27. I'm 23. If that's really how it is when you're 27, Lord Jesus, I need a break. Like, you know, I don't have a degree in art, and I'm not an artist in the least bit, but Jesus Christ, like, you really scraping for money. I have 2 jobs now. I'm literally, like, just making it by. NOLA was the same way, you know, even having to come to your parents when you don't want to and you refuse to move back into your parents' house. Like, it's a lot of moving things growing up in America right now in your 20s, and I'm pretty sure it was the same way back then. It's just, you know, I can't relate because I wasn't there. I'm sure I've heard plenty of stories, but I can only go from my experience, and right, I can tell you it's definitely hard. Like, it's one of the most difficult things in the world to deal with. Another thing I wanted to touch bases on was, dang, and it just escaped my mind. Oh, okay, yes. So, like I said before, earlier in the video, James is the older one. He's well off, he's married, and he's dealing with NOLA. Now, NOLA has this little art show thing, and her pieces on display, and they were up for sale. James ends up buying one. When he buys it, he writes a check to NOLA for $10,000 for the painting. It's a painting. It's a self-portrait. I don't know if it's necessarily. Yeah, it's a self-portrait because it's a picture of her, pretty much, that she painted. It's a beautiful picture. She looks absolutely gorgeous in it. James buys it. He brings it home. He does this little freaking monologue with it, and then NOLA goes to try to go buy something, and her card is declined. Because she just put in that she knows exactly where it came from. She's like, hey, you know, finally, I got a nice check for my art. Like, yeah, it's from one of my babes, but you know, he bought it. Like, it wasn't like, you know, he loaned me the money or he gave me the money. Like, no, he bought my artwork. Like, that's a sign, that's a staple. I go deposit the check, I pay my rent, I go to buy more art supplies, and now my card is getting declined. Now my landlord is telling me that the check that I wrote her bounced. She goes in, she calls him, she goes off telling him like, hey, you know, you put a stop payment on the check, what the hell is going on? We find out that it was his wife. His wife saw the painting, she found the painting. Then she goes and sees that he wrote a $10,000 check to a NOLA darling, and she stops that payment on that check. Lord Jesus, that's what can happen when you mess with a married man. That's exactly what can happen. As a wife, I would have did the same thing. Like, if I was James' wife, my man, we are still married. $10,000 is way too much to be given to one of your little hoes. Not saying that Nola is a hoe, but from a wife perspective, you are his side piece, you are his hoe. Ain't no way in hell we giving you $10,000. Because you take from our account since I got access to it. So that means it's our account. Ain't no way in hell you giving that $10,000. I don't care if you're a millionaire, I don't care if you're a billionaire. Ain't no way you giving that whole $10,000. And if you need to get that whole $10,000, we need to talk about why the hell you giving that whole $10,000. She better be pregnant. She better have your child. It better be something going on more than you just wanted to buy her little funky ass painting. Because better than me, I wouldn't have did more than took just a picture of it. Shit would have been ripped up and thrown in the trash, and I would have put a stop payment on that check. So that was just my opinion on it. Then James goes, you know, and he sends Nola back her painting with $10,000 in cash. So now, you know, it's untraceable to his wife. The wife can't just go take it back. Like, you know, it's hers. He gives it to her. The girl Nola gets her freaking grant from whatever competition she did. She gets the $15,000 grant. She sent the $10,000 back. Nola, you are a goddamn fool if you thought I was sending that goddamn $10,000 back. $5,000 would have been a little safety net, you know, my little cushion. $5,000 would have been spent on me, and I would have used the $15,000 for art and rent and whatever else I had to do. But there was no way in hell I was going to get back $10,000 in cash. I would have hid that shit in my good old shoebox, and I would have had myself a ball, and I would have sucked him and freaked him until there was no end for tomorrow for my $10,000 after you publicly embarrassed me because my card got declined and my check bounced to my landlord. So, first of all, listen, sister girl, let me tell you something. Next time you get a money order, when I pay my rent, I pay money order. Check don't bounce. I ain't got to worry about him cashing the check late and I had the money. Nope, not doing it. Get a money order next time. Money gone. At least that's whatever your rent was. The $1,000 for your rent, it was already gone. She couldn't get that shit back. Like, nope. But ain't no way in hell I was getting back $10,000 that my man that I'm giving you all this good vagina. I think I'm worth $10,000. I think I'm worth way more than that. So I took that $10,000 and kept it the freak moving. But you know, all in all, I thought that She's Gotta Have It was a great show. I was just watching a Breakfast Club interview, and they were saying like, you know, we're not like insecure, The only, you know, comparison that you can give is that it's a brown girl in her 20s and going through relationships. And that's pretty much it. Like, that is pretty much, you know, the only comparison. I love Insecure, but I also love She's Gotta Have It. I think Insecure, it still has some stuff that's like, you tried it, like, that's not really going to happen, but I feel like it's more realistic. The situation that Nola is having, yes, it's realistic in a sense, but they pushed it just a little bit, especially with the whole meetup thing. I think I can't get over the meetup thing. Like, y'all really tried it, and y'all really going to give these women out here false hope, because I really feel like somebody is going to do it. Somebody's going to invite all 3 of they, or all 4 of they, or all 2 of they men to their home, and they going to have to call the police because they going to get their butt beat, and not in a good way. Like, I honestly thought they was going to have an orgy or run a train on Nola at the end, because ain't no way y'all finna leave peacefully. We all just fall asleep and then we wake up and leave one by one. No, we finna all get this pussy. Since you wanted to act stupid and invite all of us here, I'm finna bust a nut in your face and your forehead. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. She's Gotta Have It. Go watch it on Netflix. This is like free promo for them, but whatever. Who cares? I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.